All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Peace, love, salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in his word and true sincerity. All right, got the bro Dawadah with me, man. And just an update on the whole situation where Trump came out yesterday. You know, everybody was talking about it. He was saying pretty much, Walmart, look, y'all got to eat the tariffs, man. Which he's just trying to save face. All this is happening because at the end of the day, it's an agenda. They need a reason to crash the economy, okay? They need a reason for people to, rouse up and get violent in the streets. They need a reason to bring order out of chaos. Well, they want to bring order out of chaos. So this is just the beginning of sorrows, man. So we got an update on this situation. As you see the title of the article, it says Tariffs Live Updates. Bessett says Walmart price hikes. Worst case scenario, Trump urges Walmart to eat the tariffs. And, the bro, I guess, you want to read through it?
Yeah, read through it real quick. It says, after President Donald Trump on Saturday told Walmart it should eat the tariffs rather than raise prices, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made the rounds on Sunday morning, which was this morning, shows to downplay inflation risk from the administration tariffs. Bessent said he spoke to Walmart CEO Doug McMillon on Saturday. The Associated Press added that the retailer's warning of looming prices increases were just a worst case scenario. But we're in the time of worst case scenarios, so they're basically telling you, get ready, And this is the guy that he's overseeing, the U.S. money. All right, just to give an idea of who this guy is and what his role is.
Yeah.
It says Bessent also downplayed the downgrade Friday of U.S. government debt by Moody's Ratings. Trump, fresh off of a trip trip to the Middle East, also renewed his criticism of Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell on Saturday and called on Walmart to eat the tariffs after the retailers warned it would likely have to raise prices. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for rising prices throughout the chain. And you're right, hey, the prices are going to have to rise anyway because we're in a time of inflation, we're in a time of the economic slowdown anyway. The tariffs is just the what's going to be used to fully pretty much collapse this shit.
Yeah.
Because, hey, Trump saying eat the tariffs, it means what? They're not gonna come to an agreement where they're gonna do away with tariffs altogether. Like he was trying to do with some of these countries. He's basically saying these tariffs are gonna be in place, and he's saying that these corporations need to basically eat it. But he's a businessman and he understands bottom lines, and as it's gonna go into Walmart, they, and these big companies, they run off margin.
Yeah.
So if there's a $50 increase just off a tariff, they're not gonna just eat the tariffs.
Yeah.
If they do, they're gonna have to lay niggas off. They're gonna have to restructure shit, or they can do the easy thing, which is to apply that price on the sticker, and make the consumer, because you can choose not to shop there, but guess what? Walmart is such a big corporation. They strategically taken away all the middle class, mom and pop shops.
Yep.
They got everything in there. So they created this environment where you got to go to these niggas, and now they telling you like, hey, the prices are on these everyday items because Walmart prided themselves on being low price.
Yeah.
But now it's not about to be low price. Just like Dollar Store. The Dollar Tree ain't
a dollar no more.
Yeah, it's $1.25. So the price is going up.
And they gonna shut down.
Yeah.
They're gonna shut down. They're gonna start doing a clearance. So we're gonna see more of these Dollar Trees, Dollar Generals doing clearances, because they gotta get rid of everything they got because they about to go out of business.
Yeah, man.
And just to add on what you were saying about Walmart, how they pride themselves on low prices, you had shared that article a few days ago that said that they're saying the prices are going to be in a double-digit increase, man. So you people gonna be through, man. You people that thought you was gonna turn up this summer, hey, everything about to be pricey, man. Mm-hmm. Even if you do go to the beach or you go somewhere, the price you gonna feel it, man. It ain't gonna be cheap as it was before. You ain't gonna be able to go to Walmart and get the cheap, the cheap bathing suit, the cheap chairs, the cheap, everything cheap, cheap coolers, cheap. Cause all that shit come from China, bro. All that shit about to go up. You gonna be like, damn, this much for a chair?
Yeah.
This little $40 for this little ass chair?
Yeah.
It was like $10 2 years ago. Hit you got it, bro.
This nigga said Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as it said, eat the tariffs and not charge value customers anything. But see, this nigga don't, he's saying this, but that's not how the U.S. system works. It's based on capitalism. And
you want to break that down?
It's so-called free market.
Okay.
Because once again, Trump is he was a businessman before he became the president, and even in the world, he's known for the art of the deal and doing all this shit. He has been profitable. He's took some L's, but him telling Walmart to do this is like an oxymoron. It's like he's basically saying opposite of how companies are supposed to run.
Yeah.
Which is, if you have the ears to understand it, they're not gonna do this shit. Yeah,
he's just trying to save face.
Yeah.
What Trump is doing is he's deceiving you MAGAs. He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's putting on the show. Look, man, eat the tariffs, man. The customers don't deserve to experience high prices. Why are you trying to make the customers pay for the tariffs when the tariffs is the reason why? Well, like what you said, it's really giving them justification. Okay, because they, like Trump said, what was it, like a month ago? He spoke about economic revolution. He spoke about a time where prices is going to be up, but he tried to sweeten it. Look, it ain't going to be long, economic revolution. Okay, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to skip down a little bit. It says, because let's get some of what this guy, because they basically going into what Trump was saying.
Yeah.
So it says tariffs are falling more quickly than the Wall Street expected. It says, that's a spiritual number. It says Yahoo Finance Josh Schaefer writes that the U.S. effective tariff rate has moved lower over the past month amid a stock market rally at 14.4%. The effective U.S. tariff rate is nearly back to its pre-Liberation Day level, as our chart of the week shows. So they're saying that the levels are back down. However, once again, the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
These nations, China mainly, has already structured its trade to basically shift away from America anyway.
Yeah.
So who does it hurt more? It doesn't hurt China. It does hurt China, but it hurts us more over here because we actually because we get everything from China.
Yeah.
And if ain't shit coming in, the price of shit is going to go up because there's less of it.
Yeah.
And the shit's not coming in all together. So there's going to be just completely shortages of shit.
Yeah. More job losses, more. Hey, man, they already saying at Walmart, when I was looking at, the reports on what Trump said, I was scrolling through the comments, and it was people giving their testimonies of people they know that work at Walmart. And I was seeing different comments that was saying how people are experiencing hour shortage. Like they're lucky to get 30 hours a week now. People that's used to 40 plus getting 30 hours. They're laying off people at Walmart. Hey, it's going to be a lot more of that as well, man. Which this is all a part of the plan anyway, because they want robots doing all this shit anyway. Yep. That's why when you go to Walmart, it may be like one or two registers where you can actually speak with somebody. But everything else is self-checkout. And on top of the self-checkout, it's debit card only.
So yeah, hey, I actually asked ChatGPT, how this would affect, just to see what it would say, right? Mm-hmm. So I basically went into saying, hey, Trump said, for Walmart to eat the tariffs. And I said, all right, it says, here's why. It says, you're exactly, I said they won't eat the tariffs, the consumers will. It says you're exactly right, and that's the economic reality no matter what rhetoric gets used. See?
Yeah.
It don't matter what they say. It says, here's why consumers end up eating the tariffs. Tariffs are taxes on imports. They are applied when goods enter the country, not when they're sold. The cost lands on importers like Walmart first. That's why Trump is telling them to eat it.
Yep.
Businesses operate on thin margins. Companies like Walmart can't just absorb all those extra costs indefinitely. If a tariff raises the cost of a TV by $50, that money has to come from somewhere, and over time, the costs are passed on to you. It says they'll raise prices quietly. It says they might not hike prices overnight, but they'll shrink package sizes, that's shrinkflation, reduce promotions, or switch to lower cost products, so shittier product. It says you'll feel it in fewer deals, smaller quantities, or cheaper quality alternatives. It says, it's speaking about the shareholders. Now it says, yes, the consumers always pay in the end, one way or another, whether it's through higher prices, fewer choices, or lower quality. So this is going to be the result of this, man.
Yeah.
You know, if you do have shit, it's going to be shitty products, man. And like you was going into with them banning these food dyes and all this shit, they're about to repackage how this food even tastes, which they created it to be addictive.
Yeah, they about to start giving you lab grown meat.
Yeah.
No more meat. Lab grown meat.
Man.
3D printed meat.
3D printed, man. Impossible meat. But yeah, man, just wanted to cover a little bit on that, man. Hey, and that reminds me of a scripture, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab it.
Kind, bring it out.
You know,
bring it out.
So we living in these times, man. Like, hey, we keep saying it, but the Lord is showing that, you know, because this is the president saying this shit. This ain't some conspiracy theory. This is coming out the president of the United States' mouth, man. And people within his cabinet, the U.S. Treasury is backing this.
Yeah.
So you people are fucked, man.
Yeah.
And that's a serious look I want to start to the spirit. Like, we could do like a daily or a weekly installment of you people are fucked, man.
You people are fucked.
Y'all are fucked, bro. Y'all don't see. Y'all still thinking like that Trump is gonna find a way to make America great again. No, he's not, man. He's not. The Lord is using him for his purpose to help bring this place down. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and let's start at verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning. The beginning of famine and great death.
Great death, because you people, man, it ain't even gonna take long for you people to start killing each other. You know, once you can't get a Big Mac no more, you can't get the 4 for 4.
Yeah.
You ran out of food at your house. You know, you pretty much, you ain't got nothing to eat. Once that happens, that's really what's going to cause people to snap. You know, as long as people can go to the drive-thru, they can, you know, get some kind of GMO garbage, they'll be cool.
Yep.
But soon as that, like I said, the beginning of famine and great death, that's what's really gonna cause people to lose it, man.
Yeah.
Food, man.
Yeah, and I was watching that first Purge movie, which, like I said, I advise brothers to rewatch that movie. It was super spiritual. So the reason that they chose Staten Island because it was a low income area in the grand scheme of, you know, the different cities in America. Low income is Jake, and the people on the island were willing participants. They came and they offered them $5,000 just to stay on the island, and people were struggling. People was in line. They was like, it was people protesting like, don't do it. But they was like, hell, $5,000, I need the money.
Yeah.
You know, so like, okay, all I got to do is, I don't have to necessarily participate. I just have to stay on the island. And it came out that, you know, niggas was just partying. And then, hey, what Esau do? He unleashed some spirits created for vengeance. He unleashed these niggas with these mental hospitals and shit like that. And they was interviewing this nigga. He was like, I just think about killing people, hurting people. And he said, you gonna get the chance. You know, and they was gonna greatly reward those that were out here so-called purging and shit, man. But hey, art imitates life. When the chips are down, man, hey, and people don't have, you know, the money. First of all, you losing your jobs, you know, and then the price of shit going up.
Yeah.
And it's been the saying that brothers been saying through the spirit, hey, when people have nothing to lose, they lose it.
And ain't gonna be no stimulus check either.
Nope.
Ain't gonna be no stimulus check to help you out. Hey, you just gonna have to deal with it, man. And Trump, he gonna keep trying to save face until he can no longer do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Then he just gonna have to come out as that devil, man.
Yeah, he just gonna have to be himself.
Yeah.
But you gotta know.
But it says the beginning of wars, right? And hey, we're at the beginning of World War III. We're at the beginning of race wars because hey, Esau is starting to his spirit is getting roused up again.
They getting tired of they getting tired of Jake. They getting tired of Jake, man.
And we tired of niggas too.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. When they talk about black fatigue, they're not talking about us per se. They don't like us for a different reason.
Yeah.
But they don't like these YNs, these niggas, these like it was a bunch of nigga bitches and they was graduating here. And remember they owe the most student loan debt. Yeah. But them bitches is turning up.
Turn that shit to a ghetto a ghetto what they call it, kickback.
Yeah, and Esau in that Purge movie, he unleashed them government mercenary neo-Nazi niggas, man, and they was just splatting them niggas, man. Yeah. Cause they was like, why is there an increase and the government set it up. So it ain't Esau got these mercenaries out and they were Russian. They were Russian mercenaries. This came out in 2018. Yeah. They were Russian mercenaries. And even that Jake that was with the gangs and shit, it was like, oh, we about to stand up for our people and all that shit. Like, and they had guns. Yeah. Guess what? They had guns. They had high level guns. Yeah. And when they got done killing some of them KKK niggas, Esau, the government sent they fucking drones and killed them niggas. And the main nigga didn't die because he was under the car. Yeah. So that shows you your carnal weapons is not gonna be shit against this Esau's sword, man.
Oh yeah. Let me get something real quick since you spoke on that. Let me go out something real quick, man.
Yeah, man, that movie.
Since you said that, this 2 Corinthians chapter, I thought it was 11. Hold on. Oh, it's actually 10. Yup. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. Matter of fact, let me pull this up in a blue letter just to see what the NLT says as well. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. Yep. It says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through our power to the pulling down of strongholds. So like what he said in the movie, Jake was trusting in the sword, man. That is not our weapon. Okay, that's not our blessing, man. Okay? Brothers ain't gonna be out here. Now, I know, bros got, certain bros got guns, but, bros ain't trusting in their guns, man. Bros ain't stocking up on weapons and, trying to go at it with Esau that way. No, man. We know the Lord is about to give divine power. We know spiritual power is gonna manifest during that time. That's what we trusting in. We ain't trusting in no carnal shit, man. It's only so far you can go with a gun. And Esau is the master at that. So like what you said in the movie, he sent them drones in. Hey, it was game over, man. And also in that movie, they had that dyke bitch, on some macho, man. See, even these movies, it shows you what Esau want to do, but it's still not reality. Yep. None of these movies show you what real reality is going to be like. The scriptures say the men shall be like women. Even a guy like that main character in the movie, he gonna be bitch made in that day. All of these men gonna be like women, like the scriptures say. But the only ones that's really gonna be, stood up, standing 10 toes are the servants of the Lord, man. Because the Lord is gonna be with us, man. We ain't gonna need a fucking gun. But I want to read this in the NLT real quick. It says, we use the Most High's mighty weapons, not worldly weapons, to knock down the strongholds of human reasoning and to destroy false arguments. Yeah. So pretty much, we trusting on the Lord, man.
Hey, Ephesians 6, Hey, we put on the whole armor of the Most High. Those are our weapons. Yeah. This is our sword right here, these scriptures. Yeah. Because the Lord's words are faithful and true. Yeah. But that guy, that the main character, man, hey, he represents the elect in the midst of all that chaos, Mm-hmm. Because he ended up being a hedge, to his little chick and all that shit. She was an activist and all that, whatever Cain say today, but we gonna be the ones that are stable in those days. Because Esau, he about to unleash this shit, man. Yeah. They about to depopulate, man. And who's the ones they want to get rid of? You blacks and browns, man.
Yeah, they want to get rid of you.
Blacks and browns, they coming and they openly saying this shit, man. Yeah. So what y'all gonna do? But continuing on, it says the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, meaning what? Bad times. Mm-hmm. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And we're gonna trust in Yahweh Shemel Shah because he's the one that's bringing these things. Yeah, and he's the only one that can deliver us from the same.
Yeah, and for Esdras to say that, here it is. He had the archangel Uriel that stands before the Heavenly Father, coming and giving him answers, telling him he's beloved in the heavens. Yet him seeing this, he made that statement. That shows you how bad it's going to be, man. It's going to be worse than we can even put in words. But when we're in that moment, we're going to say, oh yeah, this is Jacob's trouble.
Yeah,
this is it. But it's going to be far worse than what the scriptures say. Than how we can visualize, the imaginations we get, movies and shit Esau made. It's going to be worse than The Purge, than 28 Days Later, than Bushwick, than, you know, all these different movies. Purge. It's going to be worse than all of that because it's going to be real reality, man. In real reality, you don't have women out here beating up men. You don't have, you know, people getting drunk on the roof, you know, chilling, acting like nothing, it's not as serious as it is. People gonna be freaking the fuck out, man.
Yeah, and ChatGPT told me that because I said, basically, I was talking to it, I was like, you know, I don't see an actual purge necessarily being declared, but if a lights out scenario, which they've been warning of, that would basically give it the same effect.
Well, shit, the purge is just you got 24 hours to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
People gonna be able to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yep. Anarchy.
So it's technically it ain't gonna be a thing where it's declared. It's just gonna happen.
It's just gonna happen
because 911 ain't gonna work no more.
Yep. And like you had mentioned, so I asked it, I said, so how do women fare in this situation? And they basically said the women become property, man.
Yeah.
You know, these gangs and militias, they end up using them, raping them. Same thing we've been saying through the spirit. So, and ChatGPT is not human and shit. So it's taking the emotional aspect out of that shit.
Exactly.
Women are the weaker vessel. We understand this. All right, so when we've been saying through the spirit that a woman gonna need a man in that day, Isaiah 4:1, that's why. Because you're gonna be in a fucked up position. You ain't gonna be an average man can't fight off 10 niggas.
Right.
You know, what you women think? You think you're gonna be doing some Captain Marvel, you know, Dora Milaje, Black Panther.
And they actually live in that world. They'll put shit on the internet. Yeah, I ain't never afraid of no nigga. I'll beat on a nigga. They be putting this shit all on Facebook and shit, man.
Yeah.
But we gonna see when reality hits. See, when reality hits, I done seen the toughest women, women that portray they tough, get in handcuffs, they turn to a woman. Start crying, sobbing. Yeah. Like, damn, this the same bitch. Yeah. You know? Yep. So reality is what's, because people don't live in reality, man. People live in a social world. Okay, and that's why you can't really conversate with people like that in the real world because they're so used to talking behind a fucking screen, man. Okay, they don't really understand it's ways you gotta move around people. You gotta be respectful, man. You can't just talk to people any kind of way. You know, you can't just do any kind of way. You gotta be a certain type of way when you in the real world. So when reality hits, man, women thinking they so used to, you know, if they car break down, it's people that's gonna pull over and help. Yeah. Man, it's gonna be guys, they're gonna lie to you just so that they can trap you, man. Yeah. And take what you got. Like we always mentioned Black Summer. Mm-hmm. That episode where he was knocking on the window, he was like, yeah, let me in. Soon as he got in, he said, get out. Mm-hmm. But what do they always do in these movies? It's always somebody to come and save them. It's always like it's this TV show your call put me on. I forgot what it's called. It's on Netflix, but it shows you martial law. The soldiers, huh? The Last of Us? No. Not. I know about that. I played the game. I got number 1 and 2. Yeah, damn. But it's another show, which that is a good show. I stopped watching it though. I need to get back into it. But it's pretty much show martial law. It show these soldiers going through these neighborhoods and. It's one scene where they go into this chick house. He's about to grape her. He's ripping her clothes off. He's in all black, you know, got the gun on him and shit, got the AR. He's about to grape her out of nowhere. Some chick comes through a window, breaks through the glass, stabs this soldier, kills him, and saves her. That's not gonna happen, man.
That ain't about to happen. Oh yeah, just real quick, because there was a video I was watching that a brother put up, and just like it's just been an uptick in chaos amongst these niggas. and niggas is starting to shoot out at. It was niggas was fighting at the damn Haywood Mall and shit like that. Just niggas. Man.
Yeah, that's why I avoid niggas.
Yeah.
Slide, you got it.
I was gonna say some shooting happened at QT, and which we know QT is around like this area, like these states.
Yeah.
And niggas was running. They was running through. Where the employees supposed to go. They all ran back there. And then whoever was courting, they was trying to exit, and it was nigga women, and guess what? They had booty shorts on, and they so worried trying to get their shorts out they fucking ass, they can't think about fucking survival, man. Wow. You can't be wearing shit like that. You gotta run. You gotta be wearing flip flops and sandals and shit. That's why bros. But tell her, bro, you gotta low key stay girded, man.
Yeah,
Shit can go down at any time. These people gonna be through, man. Yeah. Getting trampled and all that shit. They not gonna be able to run. All type of shit, man.
Yeah, bro. I went to the gas station the other day, man. It was late at night. Group of niggas got out the car, bro. I waited till them niggas came out the store before I went in there. Yeah. Avoid niggas, especially when you see them dreads. Like 2 of them had dreads. When you see a dreadhead nigga, get out of there. Get out.
Yeah. They about to turn up, man.
Yep.
The land of Judah shall be a terror under Egypt. All right, but hey, the Lord gonna nuke them niggas, man. If they make it, if they do make it, through, they gonna die.
A lot of them niggas gonna get. Hey, what they doing in Ukraine, they gonna do here. Pulling up in the van, grabbing you, throwing you in the van, sending you to the front line. They gonna do that shit here, bro. They gonna pull up. They gonna where you niggas on the block. You niggas out there smoking weed, your pants hanging off your ass.
Ain't nobody gonna miss you.
Yeah, nobody gonna miss your black ass. They gonna grab you, like I mentioned when we had went to Atlanta, bro. We trying to drive. It was a whole group of niggas, bro, just in the road,
man.
Not letting nobody drive, bro.
Yeah.
They gonna pull up. They gonna grab these niggas. You ain't gonna be able to run because your pants hanging off your ass.
Hey.
They gonna grab them, throw them in that van, and send them over there to the goddamn so-called Middle East, man.
That's right. That's right. It says the beginning of wars.
Salakia, just one more point. Yeah, that's why that legislation, right, with the military drive. Pretty much that's what it is. If we get low on numbers, if you between the ages 18 and 26, that's the age of the young niggas. When they do that chart, YN, big bro, 18, 26, that's the YNs, bro. What you got, bro?
It says, the beginning of the evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And that's why the Lord is going to get rid of you niggas. Because he's sending this as a correction, but you still not going to turn to the Lord, man.
Nope.
The Lord, he going to have to completely send Esau on you.
Yeah.
Death camps and all for you to try to seek the Lord, man.
Yeah, he's just going to have to get rid of them. That's why, like it says in Isaiah, the 1st chapter, it speaks about, pretty much the Lord has stricken you. The Lord has beat you. The Lord and put judgment on you, yet you still revolt. You still rebel. Mm-hmm. And the Lord got his prophets telling you to repent, telling you what he's getting ready to do, and you still refuse to listen. So the only option, I done sent my men to tell them. They didn't want to listen. They still want to be niggas. Yep. The only option left is to just kill you. That's the only option. Just kill them. And they'll come back in the kingdom. And that's the beautiful thing about it. The Lord is still going to show mercy on 2/3. Mm-hmm. They're not going to burn in hell. You got some camps saying that they're going to burn in hell. No, man. The Lord is going to get rid of them, but they're still his people. Mm-hmm. They're going to come back as the seed of the elect, man. So we all win. Yep. But we just want to be the first fruits of the kingdom. But you got it, bro.
Verse 21, behold, and here's really the meat of going into this article. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And we got to understand that the time to the Heavenly Father is a lot different to us. Yeah. So for us, it might have seemed like shit has been, pretty much like, it's been, for the most part, it's been cheap for the last few years or whatever. But when hey, when the scriptures go into inflation and hyperinflation and stuff like that, we about to really see that.
Yeah.
And we gonna look back at these prices now like this wasn't shit.
Yeah.
So technically, right now we're in the fulfillment of this.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why
cheap,
when they say people shall think themselves to be in good case, because people aren't panicking. People think, oh, everything's normal, everything's all right. You know, so people think they're in a good position. Oh, I was able to get a mattress, because you know all of these furniture stores are shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yeah, I was able to get a king mattress with an adjustable base for like $400. Which, you know, I had one before. I had to pay like $13 for it.
Yeah.
But that will have somebody, if you paying that cheap for that, you like, damn, like, hey, you thinking we in a good time. Yeah. But we're not in a good time, man. And like the brother had mentioned, once inflation, really once it turns into hyperinflation, because that's really what it's about to do. Because what speeds that up is when there's no more merchandise coming in, like the brother spoke on that earlier. We're not receiving anything from China no more. Okay, they've even put tariffs on AliExpress and Temu and Shein, which you may not even get that no more, you know? But the fact that these ports are empty, okay, which we got to get another report from the bro. We got to see if he got an update for us. Right. But that's going to cause hyperinflation because things become more valuable when it's scarce. You can't really get this no more. So now we got to raise the price. Not only is the price being raised because of the tariffs, which they pass down to the consumer, but it's going to increase even more because we don't have as much no more. Yeah. And then that leads to hyperinflation because, hey, this is valuable now. Yeah. Now this is gold. Yeah. Now having a fresh loaf of bread that doesn't expire for 30 days, that's gold. Yeah. So now, look, I give you this for $40. If you want it, it's fresh. Or you can go get the fucking stale, expired shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then that leads to famine. When you can't even get that no more. The only way you can get that is if you in some kind of militia or some kind of, because it's going to be factions and shit like that that's going to form, man.
Take over, you know, small stores and shit like that, and they going to control them resources.
Yeah, they going to take them shits over, bro. These different groups, once that time, because you got militia groups, they're sharpening their swords, bro. They're watching, they're like, yeah, they see what's going on. They got bulletproof armor, they got bulletproof helmets. Bro, they got all that fucking that end of the world shit, bro. They ready for this shit. They really want it because then they can be who they want to be. They're gonna ride to these stores, bro. They gonna lock them bitches down, bro. They gonna go in there armed up, strapped up, and they gonna shut it down, bro.
Yeah. Hey, just like going back, I'm thinking about that movie. I'm glad I watched it again, man.
Yeah,
it's fresh. Man, when they finally started sending them militias out, because at first everybody was just partying.
Yeah.
But when they finally sent them Edomite militias out, they was targeting, because they had them contacts in that tracker.
Oh yeah.
They knew where niggas was at. They pulled right up to the damn church, you know, to the church where it was a bunch of Northern Kingdom and Jakes up in there, Southern Kingdom Jakes, and they went in there and just mowed niggas down, man, and jumped back on their Harleys, and they had a shield, and they had their Harleys, and they was just going from place to place, man.
Yeah.
They gonna unleash these motherfuckers out here, man.
Yeah.
You know, and they gonna know where y'all at, because if the internet is still up and shit like that, we all have trackers on our phone technically already. So if you got your phone on, they can figure out where the fuck you at.
Facts.
But that's why we not worried, because when they try to pull up on the men of the Lord, hey, Isaiah 19 and 59 and 19 is gonna come into play. But for you people, y'all about to get mowed down. The Lord about to Jeremiah 15, y'all motherfuckers, man. Yeah. You know, such as are from death to death, and the sword, and the famine and the famine.
Yeah, the Lord is delivering you. Let me grab this real quick. With I love bringing this scripture out what King David said, man. And I'm gonna keep bringing it out, because the Lord is about to deliver you into the sword, man. This is Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast him down, which that's King David, what he said, this is the spirit of the elect. We're telling, we're pleading to the Lord, like, bring this devil down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, man. Esau, Edom is the wicked. He's the sword of the Lord. See, we fully understand that the Heavenly Father has used this devil as a punishment tool. That's all he is. The Most High don't give a damn about Esau. In fact, he's the only nation the Heavenly Father said out his own mouth he hates them. The other nations, he look at them as spit. They don't mean shit to him either. But Esau is the only one he said he hates. But they're his sword. They're his whipping stick. So he's going to use them to show you niggas, man. Because you niggas, you still busy, trapping, robbing each other, making songs about killing each other, robbing, taking your brother's woman. You fully set on your brother being your enemy. Well, when this devil roll on you, then you gonna see, damn, you thought this double hatred died when the the Emancipation Proclamation? Yep. You thought this, he done had a change of heart now. Which I ain't gonna go all into that. We all know what that means, the word emancipate and all that. I ain't gonna go all into that. But Jake think, that was, Esau had a change of heart. Now we can be millionaires, we can travel, we ain't in chains no more. Which you're still in slavery. I'm not gonna go all into that, but you niggas thought that you were free. Oh, you can deal with a white chick now. Now you can get an Edomite woman in public. So you thought this devil had a change of heart. He's about to show you he never changed, man. And then you niggas gonna realize, hey, we gotta stick together. And that's when, like you mentioned, the race wars. Actually, let me grab something else real quick.
That just made me think of a scripture too, man.
What, Isaiah?
Nah.
Oh, I'm about to grab something real quick, and then you can get what you get. I'm gonna grab, because you niggas and the Northern Kingdom, really it's gonna start with Judah, because Judah gotta turn up for the rest of the tribes to turn up. Once Judah riles up, then the rest of the tribes is gonna follow suit. And when that happens, y'all gonna bang on Esau. Now we ain't gonna participate in the race wars. The Lord gonna have us put up. If anything, the Lord gonna give us that power. We gonna shut shit down. We gonna come through and slaughter a whole troop of robots. Which Elder Kazak was speaking on that earlier. A video I was listening to, he put up Esau having his robots out here. That's the spirit. We can see it. But I'm gonna read this real quick to pass it to you. This Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be as a chase roe, which a roe is a female deer, which a deer can run fast, man. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, a sheep without a shepherd has no protection. So you people out here, you're going to be like a sheep without protection, man. That's why I say that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. So it's going to be factions, man. It's going to be, look, hey, if you Jake, you got to stick with your own, man. You got to choose. Oh, that's the spirit. I sent it in the chat. I was listening to it when we was at the gym. The video, the brother, I forget his name, man, but he the head of the camp in Washington. One of his channels is a Citians DMV. Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, he had a vision, bro, and he did a video with it. He had a vision that pretty much race wars, everything went down. And he said that you had to choose a side. Like, you really had to pretty much know who to be around. Damn. So that's what this is saying. Every man shall turn to his own people. Because Esau going to stick with Esau. They going to stick together. Elam going to stick with Elam. You might have a few Elamites, a nigga like Fresh. No, his name is, Myron. A nigga like Myron try to blend in with some niggas.
Niggas gonna lynch him.
Hell yeah.
Niggas gonna lynch him.
That nigga, he making a mistake staying in Babylon. Yeah. And he in Florida. Yeah, those niggas gonna get him. He already received death threats. Hey, but not to go off topic, but pretty much in his dream he said, pretty much you had to choose a side. Mm-hmm. So that's how it's gonna be out here, man. People gonna be sticking with their own. And you're gonna have the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom click up, man. Okay? But you got it, bro.
Yeah, I got this going into this, this devil. Because like you said, man, this nigga ain't changed. Just because he didn't calm down. They didn't, they really let these women kind of take over and, they didn't allow sodomy and all this shit. But this, bro, the Lord about to quicken this devil's spirit again. This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil? Applying that to Esau. Esau was made to do evil. So how can he do good, man? You think you trusting this nigga not gonna ransack people's shit, in the time of anarchy, man, lawlessness. No. We see what he did, what he done under the law. When so-called law-abiding citizens, these niggas are getting ready. You go into the Reconstruction period and shit like that after the Civil War. That's when the KKK was created. And how they was lynching niggas with impunity. They was just doing it. That spirit never left this devil. It just was, it was because this ministry had to come out. Man, if Esau was, bruh, we couldn't be able to teach on the highways and byways, and Esau was just lynching the hell out of us, man. So he had to calm his spirit. But now that we in this phase of prophecy and the word has gone out, hey, the elect, may very well be sealed or close to being sealed. And guess what? The Lord gonna let this shit go, man.
Yep.
But going back to 2 Corinthians 16 to finish it out real quick.
Okay.
Back in verse 21, it says, Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
And that's all that's coming. Sword, famine, great confusion, man. People gonna be using that gun more and more.
Yep, there's more guns than people. Elder Malcolm was going to. There's more guns. There's like 3 guns to every American citizen.
Damn.
And there's like 350, 360 million. So there's 3 times the amount of guns.
Yeah.
So, hey, niggas gonna be offing each other.
And all that trying to, Esau was trying to go around the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, trying to say, oh, we need to ban ARs and, all of these false flags he was doing to try to take people guns. These Edomites ain't going for that shit. They ain't going for that shit at all, man. Anything that made them buy even more guns, and more ammo. These devils stocked up, man. They see what's coming, and they resorting to their blessing, which is the sword. But you niggas too busy in the DD situation, the DDG situation. You so caught up in somebody else's life that you don't even see what the fuck is going on. Now the scriptures tell us be ignorant in not any matter. We on point in everything, but we don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But you people, you invested into it. That's all you think and talk about, man.
Bro, at work, bro, that's all them niggas do. Bro, it's an old ass dick at my job, man. And all he talk about is 2 things. He talk about sports, and he been talking about this Diddy situation. And I'm like, it's just confirming what we already knew about these celebrities, bro. And y'all disappointed because y'all made these niggas to be some type of god.
Yeah.
We knew these are niggas, and they learned this shit from Esau. Okay.
Yeah.
They trying to paint Jake as like, the face of freak offs.
Yeah.
All these freak offs are
from
fucking
Esau.
orgies, man. They were doing orgies back in Rome and shit.
That's why Kanye said in that song, he said he's a cuck. Yeah. He got that from Esau, man. All of these celebrities are just wicked degenerates. That's all they are. Like you said, people try to exalt them. Like it's an old head I work with. He always, every time I work with him, he be like, "You watched the game last night?" And then he be talking about LeBron. And man, LeBron was at them parties. LeBron is a degenerate, man. All of these niggas, I don't give a fuck how good a nigga can shoot a ball. Okay? All of these niggas are degenerates, man. And the Lord don't give a fuck about them. Even the scriptures say the Lord don't stand in awe of any man. The only ones the Lord is concerned about is the elect, man. If you're not of the elect, then you're just here. You're just here, ultimately to be destroyed, man. But you got it, bro.
Yep. Verse 22, I'm going to finish off here. It says, For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. It don't say might. It don't say maybe. It says many that dwell upon earth shall perish of
A
famine.
lot of people gonna die of famine, man, because, you know, Esau didn't set up this system where it's illegal for you to grow your own. And if you do grow your own, it's a process, you know, you gotta go through. But you can't just have your own garden, you know. So we're in a society where women aren't taught how to run a kitchen, which men are better cooks anyway. But, you know, women don't even know how to boil water nowadays. But, you know, you gotta go, if you want to get groceries, if you want to get produce, you gotta go to a grocery store. Yeah. Whether it's Walmart, Publix, Harris Teeter, whatever. You gotta go to, like in the curses, we go to our enemies for the one of all things. Mm-hmm. Eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles. We gotta go to our enemies to get food. Mm-hmm. So once that shuts off, you know, unless you was in that Canadian prepper spirit, you know, you gonna perish of famine, man.
Hey, and through the spirit, if I may add, going back to the 21st verse, another thing about the victuals being so good, cheap meaning what? It's something that's cheap. It's easily accessible. It's in abundance, so you don't have to
pay as much.
Yeah. So when I was out of town the other day, you know, my TikTok algorithm switched up, and now they're starting to do drone DoorDash deliveries. And I saw the videos. They come and they drop it, and it has a little parachute on the thing.
Wow.
And it drops right down.
Is it somebody controlling the drone or that shit AI?
It's probably AI.
Bro.
They do it with the orders and they drop the food. They don't never hit the ground. It goes like in the air, and then it drop, and the packaging on it has a parachute.
You seen that shit?
I saw it, bro. I'm gonna show you after it goes out, and it drops down. Boom.
And all that's here,
bro. They just launched it,
bro. Now you know what that means. They about to fire a lot of these drivers, man.
Exactly.
See, you people, you about to get replaced by robots and drones, man. Yep. Hey, man, we're here. And this is how they're going to. This is going to be one of their talking points. I see Elon Musk saying it now. When they which now they're showing these robots more. These Tesla robots. Like if you go on the Tesla website, you can pre-order now a robot, and it's only 20,000, bro.
Bro, that's cheap.
And you know they're gonna let you do some kind of credit shit with it. They'll let you probably can put 1,000 down or you know something like that.
Like a car.
Yeah. So you can pre-order a robot now, and I can see Elon Musk already saying it now. The future is here. The future is already here. You know, because they're gonna sweeten this shit up, man. Yeah, we're in the future. You know, merging man with machine. You know, you don't have to work. Universal high income. They're not saying universal basic income no more. Now they're saying universal high income. You know, he was saying also in that interview, I believe everybody should have their own personal robot. You know,
government issue.
Your own. You remember that commercial? The robot can wash the kids. Remember that? The robot can cook, clean, and wash the kids for you. Yeah, the robots, the AI. This is gonna make human life even better. You know, You had fucking Mark Zuckerberg. He was saying, you know, AI is gonna be your best friend. Like he was saying, the average person may have like 3 friends, but we're meant for more than that. And AI would be that extra. Pretty much trying to say that you gonna be best friends with a fucking robot, man.
Wow.
You know, that's the word they pushing. But see, most of these people will eat it up. Like what you said, the whole fucking drone bringing you your food. Yeah. People, that's so cool. You know?
Yep.
But you got it, bro.
Yeah, let's finish it out. It says, verse 22 again, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish in famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, so if you escape, if you in that Dabu 7 spirit, that Canadian prepper spirit, that full spectrum survival spirit, hey, I can't get over what my man Nate from Canadian Prepper said though. This nigga did a video talking about freeze drying tacos, bro. Talking about that shit'll last like 10 years. Bro, listen, man, we trusting on the Lord. We not freeze drying no fucking tacos, man. You know, we ain't getting no fucking non-perishables that don't inspire for 25 years. Now, it ain't nothing wrong with, getting a few things, but we ain't trusting in that. We trusting it on Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. The Lord said his servant shall eat and drink and sing for joy of heart, that thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The Lord said these things, so we fully trusting on the Lord to keep his promise, man. He's not a power that he should lie. Everything he ever said he would do, he's done it. So we putting all our cards in the hand of the Lord, man. Okay? So even if you do escape the hunger, you stocking up on shit. The sword gonna kill you.
The militias, like you was mentioning.
Yeah.
Elder Malcolm had brought it up. You got people that like Canadian prepper and shit that are prepping, but you also have guys that are just sharpening their swords to go take the niggas that's prepping.
Yeah. They And best believe they got somebody in their group that's a tech nerd that he can track their IP address and he know exactly where these niggas live at, bro. That's stocking up. They got. Bro,
Kardashian, remember she showed her little bunker?
Bro, and women are stupid. Yeah. So she didn't open her mouth. She didn't told people in her family, and it could have been somebody overhearing exactly where it's at, and bro, they gonna know where to go. They gonna get it, bro. Cause if you think you got creeps that stalk these OnlyFans chicks, these webcam chicks, and know where they live at, you got. In these militia groups, they got people that got different gifts. Yeah. They got the tech nerd. The nigga that he's on the computer with 10 different screens and he can hack. He's into that. They got people like that in these groups, and they know exactly where these niggas live, bro.
This was low-key through the spirit. This is the first installment of You People Are Fucked, man. Because the spirit that had us bring out all these different things from you women to you everyday Americans, man. All y'all are about to get touched.
Oh yeah.
Right? From Trump speaking on this to just how things are moving. The Elon Musk, you people are fucked.
You're fucked, man. I like that. Hey, let's end it with 2nd Esdras 15.
Yep.
You already know what I want.
2nd Esdras chapter 15. You want right to the point?
Right to the point.
2nd Esdras chapter 15.
A man shall have no pity. Yeah.
Yep. And verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
Because of famine. People ain't gonna give a fuck. So they gonna say, hey man, I'm starving. I need what you got. And they gonna be willing to kill you, man. They're gonna be willing to murder you, man. Murder is gonna be at an all-time high, man. People ain't gonna give a fuck. Because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. People gonna bust in your shit, kill you, and maybe preserve your body to eat that later. And then eat up everything you got. Hey, because you remember you brought out, if the grid goes out, people got, 24 hours before their faucet water turns into shit? 24 hours, right?
24 hours.
So, hey, man, that's why the time we coming into, like you quoted it at camp, Isaiah the 2nd chapter, all pride is going to be shut down. Because how can you be proud when you can't bathe? Okay, you can't even brush your teeth. You ain't got shit to eat. You ain't got nothing to drink. You women, you can't put on any makeup. You can't get your toes done. Can't get your nails done. Can't get a wig. You can't just drive your car. You can't get on social media and cope. You can't shave. Talking about you women. And you men, you can't get lineups. You can't, How can you still be proud? The Lord is about to bring all you people to the base sort, man. Meanwhile, he's going to exalt his men all to glorify his name. He's going to make it easy for us to reject these bitches. Oh, yeah. Because they're going to be stinking. You don't want to talk to a bitch that stink. You're like, oh, get your dirty ass out of here. But yeah, man, Lord willing, this was you had anything else?
No, that was it, man.
Lord willing, this was an edifying video. With that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect and Abad Babal.